All right, good morning, everybody. Al Emery with Momentum Software Solutions, and welcome to our May webinar. Today, we're going to be talking about using Exo CRM and focusing on some areas that can be helpful when we're in tough times, and in particular, the communication aspect of CRM. So what we'll be going through is looking at managing leads, prospects, and customers through the CRM module, opportunities and quotes, which can be either sales quotes or project quotes, marketing lists and campaigns with the email integration. I'm actually going to start with those things first. I think they're probably quite relevant to people at the moment. And then the second part of the webinar, we're going to be handing over to Chris Miller from a company called Alchemex. Alchemex have a Microsoft Excel-based business intelligence or reporting tool, which connects directly to MYOB Exo. And the good thing about Alchemex is that it is fundamentally Microsoft Excel, which virtually everybody knows how to use quite well. So it gives you a lot greater capacity to manage your own reporting outcomes without necessarily requiring a third party. So they provide the solution and the training. It's very widely used around Australia and New Zealand with businesses using Exo. So it's certainly worth staying on the webinar to go through Chris's presentation. Okay, so I'm just going to jump into our demo for MYOB Exo, and this is the CRM module. So if you're not already familiar with the CRM module, it is part of the Exo suite, and therefore automatically retains all of the current information that you have in your system. So by that I mean things like customer information, supplier information, contact information. It's all looking at the same database, so it's not needing to integrate or transfer data. It's just a different module looking at exactly the same data. What it does add, though, aside from customers, is adds the ability to manage prospects. So in the company information, you can filter that on customers, prospects, and suppliers, and create custom views which give the ability to filter that a little further. So you might want to see just your own prospects or your own companies or your own customers. This is for a point of view of a salesperson, for example, or otherwise look at all prospects. So if you look at customers firstly, that's the same information you'd be familiar with now. Every customer has a card file, if you like, with their company details, the different contacts that you might deal with at that company, transactional information and history, sales orders. CRM introduces a new opportunities tab, which we'll come back to, as well as history notes and documents. So a CRM user, you'll note, can't do a financial transaction from within the CRM module. It's predominantly a sales and communication engine. What I can do is create a new sales order, a new opportunity, or a new activity. When we look at prospects, where CRM really expands on what Exo can do out of the box, is particularly if you're a wholesale business dealing with sales orders and quotes. In the Exo business module, you can't do a quote to a prospect, you can only do a quote to a customer. So a lot of people use a cash account to issue quotes to businesses that are really prospects, not yet trading, and therefore not a customer. Then the CRM module allows you to add those prospects into your database as a company, with very similar information to what you would add for a customer or debtor. So their company name, phone, email, address, contact people that you might be dealing with, all of the relevant information that you might need to prosecute an opportunity or convert a prospect into a customer. So when we get into the communication aspect, any customer or debtor and any prospect can have multiple contacts associated with them. So they all are available in the contacts list. And there's a number of ways that you can interact with contacts through the CRM module or the other Exo modules like job costing or Exo business. So this contact information is visible throughout the whole solution. So for example, you can select a few contacts and then send an email. If they don't have an email address, the system will warn you. And then if you get past that, it will then open an email. Now, if you're using Outlook, it will actually open a blank email in Outlook, and you can type in any information you want to in that email, attach anything you like, and send it. And it will then prompt you, do you want to save a copy of that into the Documents tab of each contact? So this is a test for a quick email. You'll then be prompted, do you want to save that to the contact documents? If you say yes, then if we go back and open Peter Bailey and look at the documents, the good thing about the email integration, if you send the email from within Exo, is the transparency. So other people in the business can access the record of what was sent to that customer. Now, I don't have Outlook installed on the demonstration server, so it's just opening it as a text file. But if you have your Outlook running, it will open that in an email format. Where you can go somewhat further, though, with communicating with customers is to create contact lists and use the mail shot. So if we look at the setup options, we have contact lists, and this is a really powerful part of the CRM module. And so a contact list can be virtually anything using different criteria. So if I want to send an email out or interact or even have a marketing campaign with my active customers, I might define that as being customers who we've sold to this year. And I might want to do an alternative communication to customers that we've not sold to this year. So it's pretty simple to do those. So you create a customer list, you give it a name, and you select a list type. Since I'm interacting or communicating with customers, I'm choosing list type debtor. There's several other options, including just contacts. Then you have list building criteria, which is reasonably simple to use. You simply add different criteria. So what I've done up here is I only want contacts that are active. I only want them if they are linked to debtors who are also active, and where the year value, which is the year-to-date sales value, is greater than $10, and they have a valid email address in that. And for that criteria or that condition, I've said there's an email account, there's an email address that has the @ sign in it. That's the best way to check that an email address is valid. So that way, if the email address is blank, the contact won't be added to the list. And if the email address is not blank but doesn't contain the @ sign, which won't work, then it would be invalid. So that returns these people. So it's returning the individual contacts linked to those debtors. And if you scroll across, you'll see there's actually lots of fields, including the debtor account that they're linked to. So if I select all, I can add those people to a contact list, or add selected contacts to the list. Once I've got lists, and you can do all kinds of criteria with that. Some of it is more complicated than others, but it could be, for example, who has bought product A but not product B? Who is an active customer but is only the managing director of that customer? So there's lots of different ways that you can filter that list, because each company, an account that our contact is linked to. So you can use conditions that relate to the debtor, which might be what primary or secondary group do they have, who is their salesperson, what is their state, all kinds of criteria that you can use in your contact list to select only the debtors or customers or prospects that you want. And then you can also have attributes about the contact people. So you could say filter it on their account title, or use marketing classes and say only give me contacts who have the reseller marketing class ticks. So marketing classes can be used for all kinds of things. So you might just have one. We use one in our business called who is the primary contact. Might be the primary sales contact. So you can relabel that. This is the primary contact. And then your contact list could be conditional on only that. Then you can use either the standard contact email that I use to say, right, now I only want active customers with sales, and send them an email, like I did before. If you want to go a step further, then you might use a marketing campaign. So a marketing campaign might be the May catalogue. When you use marketing campaigns, you can have an estimated cost and estimated revenue. So we want to have a $20,000 uplift in sales for this campaign. It runs from now until the 31st. The owner is myself, the marketing campaign. I'll save that. And then you can start putting some planning or structure to that campaign. So we're going to say the contact list we're using is active customers with sales. And, pardon me. We're going to do 3 emails. So we're doing an email today using the mail shot. Do that contact list. We're going to do follow-up calls on Monday. And that's just a bulk activity creation for the same list. And then we might do an additional email at the end. Now, in the email, you can then determine what you want to say to them and what you want to send. And you can do that using Clarity. So Clarity is the report designer in Exo, and it allows you to create an email template. You don't have to do this, but it's a way of making it a very personalized email. So I've got a Clarity template called my May special. In the subject, basically it said special offer from our company. And in the body, I'm personalizing it, so it's saying, dear contact first name, thank you for all your support from your business name. Attached is our catalogue, 15% off all orders placed before 31 May, and please quote this campaign reference. When I come to do my email, I hit the mail shop button. It asks me if I want to refresh the contact list that I've selected. And it brings up the mail shop screen. And this is exactly the same mail shop function that works in Exo Business to send bulk send out emails, invoices and statements, as well as remittances. And now I can attach my special offer email template. And I can also then attach a catalog or PDF document of any kind, and that will basically send a personalized email with the attachment to each contact. I'm just going to untick. I'll just tick the one that's using my email address. Otherwise, they'll all be ticked. And you also have the option at the top here to say, save a copy of the sent mail to the documents, which I definitely do want. And I don't want to check each email before it goes. I just want it sent. So go. Okay, that's done. I can actually drill in to this contact on the mail shop screen. Check the documents. And that is the email that I've just sent. If I bring my Outlook over to our screen here, you can see here is the little email I've just quickly done, personalised to the contact, naming my business name as the recipient and giving the campaign code for them to quote when they place their order and attaching the catalogue. What the campaign tracking then does very well is enable you to track what transactions have arisen from that campaign, and they can be opportunities, jobs, invoices, sales orders, even purchase orders. So mostly the sales focusing ones are what we're interested in, and that will then give you the ability to look at the analysis of the effectiveness of that campaign. So how that works is, let's say people are placing sales orders. Now, from the CRM module, you can create opportunities and quotes, which I'll come back to in a moment, but you can also just enter a sales order using the normal Exo sales order screen. And in order to track the campaign effectiveness, I need to actually add campaign tracking. To different transactions. Now, I don't have campaign tracking turned on for sales orders, which is why that's not appearing here, but it is tracked on opportunities. So I can always add sales orders in. Okay. I go back to my transactions you can see now that I've got a campaign sales order flowing through to my campaign results, and the analysis will show me some revenue once I invoice out that sales order. And other aspects of CRM that work very well is opportunities. So an opportunity is a potential sale, which usually results in a quote. And where it is an improvement on sales quotes in Exo or job quotes is you can much more easily measure your win-loss rates of quoting. And a quote in CRM can become either a sales order or a job. So if we look at an opportunity has a subject, it links to either a debtor or a prospect. So that's one thing that CRM brings in, is that you can do quotes or opportunities to prospects as well as customers or debtors. You can have different opportunity types, track the source of where these sales opportunities come from, and then track them through different sales stages to the point they become accepted or won. You can add up to, I think, about 30 custom fields at the bottom here, which would often be specific to your business. We use those heavily in our CRM. And then the due date is when are you expecting to actually convert this into a sale, which could be a sales order or a project. And that really is driving the pipeline. So the pipeline is a combination of the value of the quote, the date you're expecting to close it, and the probability of success. And the quote is quite similar to the Exo job costing quote screen, where things are much more granular for the person quoting to see, where you've got visibility of cost, sell, markup, and margin for every line on the quote, and the overall quote markup and margin. Now, not everybody wants that, so these fields can all be hidden. So you can have markup, margin, and cost all hidden. So in some circumstances, people don't want their people seeing that information, so that can easily be hidden via a profile. What works well with opportunities is that once your initial quote is issued and sent, you've then got activities in various flavors where you can track and follow up on that quote. So activities are a really good way where you create tasks. The task type might be new business. So because I've created it from within this opportunity, it's automatically linked to this company and this contact and this opportunity. And on Monday, I want a reminder to do that. So that will appear in the activities tab of the opportunity, as well as my Exo task list or calendar. You can also drag and drop. So if you're using Microsoft Outlook, you can drag and drop emails. And this documents tab works throughout Exo, not just opportunities. So it works in jobs, debtors, contacts, sales orders as well, I think. And drag and drop emails into that. And once your opportunity is converted, then you can then change that or convert it into either a sales order or a job or a sales order quote. Usually it's one of these two. And through the configuration, these can be turned on or off. So if your business only does sales orders, then that could be the only option for you. If your business only does jobs, then that would be the option. Okay, so I'm just going to jump back to my presentation. So where partway through, and I've covered the CRM content that hopefully is of interest to you, looking at particularly the communication options that you can do with marketing lists, campaigns, and the email integration. And then looking at also leads, prospects, and customers, and opportunities and quotes. So just pause there. And if anybody has any questions, then feel free to unmute your microphone and ask any questions. And while we're doing that, I'm just going to switch the screen presentation over to Chris from Alchemex, and he'll continue the second part of today's webinar.